Visualization doesn't fail because you lack belief. It fails because your brain was never built to hold an image without training, and no one told you that. Most people close their eyes, try to picture what they want, and watch it dissolve within 3 seconds. Not because they're doing it wrong, because the visual cortex, the part of the brain that generates and sustains mental imagery, has never been conditioned to hold anything. You're asking an untrained muscle to perform at an elite level. That's not a mindset problem. That's a neuroscience problem. There is one object, a single flame, that ancient yogis used to solve this exact problem. Not as a symbol, not as a metaphor, as a precision training tool for the mind's eye. What they discovered 600 years ago, modern neuroscience is only beginning to explain. And tonight, you can use it. Here's the frame most people are missing. Visualization isn't a belief exercise. It's a brain training exercise. You wouldn't expect to run a marathon without ever training your legs. Why would you expect your mind to hold a clear, sustained, emotionally vivid mental image without ever training your visual cortex? The ancient yogis understood this. They didn't tell their students to believe harder. They gave them a practice, a physical, repeatable, measurable technique that built the mind's capacity to generate and hold internal imagery. The candle flame was that practice. In the next few minutes, here's exactly what you'll learn. Why your brain erases mental images within seconds, and the neurological reason behind it. What the ancient practitioners of Trataka actually discovered about a flame's effect on the mind, and the exact step-by-step protocol you can run tonight to train your visualization so precisely that your nervous system begins treating the image as real. That's the sequence. Let's go. The practice is called Trataka. It's documented in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, a 15th century Sanskrit text compiled by Swami Swatmarama. In that text, Trataka is listed as one of 6 foundational purification practices, the Shatkarmas. The specific goal is ekagrata, one-pointed concentration. The method is fixed, unblinking gaze at a single point of light. The flame is not incidental. It is the technology. Here's what's happening in your brain when you do this. Sustained visual focus on a single luminous point activates the primary visual cortex, V1, and simultaneously drives the brain toward alpha wave frequencies. Alpha state runs between 8 and 13 Hertz. It's the bridge state between conscious, analytical thought and the deeper subconscious. In alpha, the brain's default mode network, the system responsible for self-referential thinking, inner criticism, mental noise, quiets significantly. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex published findings showing that alpha oscillations in the visual cortex directly regulate the suppression of irrelevant sensory input. In plain terms, alpha state doesn't just relax you. It narrows your brain's focus and increases its receptivity to the imagery you're generating internally. The critical filter drops, the subconscious opens. Now here's the mechanism that changes everything. When you stare at a candle flame for 60 to 90 seconds without blinking, and then close your eyes, a retinal afterimage appears. The light-sensitive cells in your retina, the cones, become temporarily depleted at the point of focus and produce an inverse or residual impression. You see the flame with your eyes closed. This is not imagination. This is a neurological event, and it is the bridge. The brain, in that moment, cannot distinguish between an externally generated visual signal and the afterimage. The same primary visual cortex pathways are firing. The same neural circuits are active. A study published in the journal Psychological Science, researchers Pearson and colleagues, 2015, from the University of New South Wales, demonstrated that vivid mental imagery activates identical neural substrates as direct visual perception. The brain does not know the difference between a real image and a trained internal one. The candle teaches it to generate that signal on demand. This is what Trataka meditation actually trains. Not belief, not intention. the raw neurological capacity to generate a stable, high-fidelity internal image that the brain processes as real sensory data. 600 years before fMRI machines, the yogis had already engineered the protocol. Before the protocol, one thing needs to be said clearly. You don't need 30 minutes. You don't need a perfectly quiet room. You don't need to achieve some altered state you've never touched before. You need one candle, 5 minutes, and the willingness to sit still with your eyes open. That's the starting requirement. No guru can visualize for you. No course gives your nervous system what it needs. No frequency audio retrain your visual cortex. These are things done to you. This practice is done by you, and the results belong to your own neurology, not someone else's framework. Your nervous system, once trained, doesn't need permission to work. It doesn't wait for belief. It doesn't require a perfect mindset or zero self-doubt. Conditioned neural pathways operate automatically. That's the point. You train the system runs. You get out of the way. Here is the practice, exactly as it was designed to be run. Find a dim or dark room. Place a candle at eye level, approximately arm's length from your face. Sit comfortably, spine upright. Before you begin, establish your breathing rhythm. 4 counts in through the nose, 4 counts hold, 4 counts out through the mouth. This specific pattern, box breathing without the extended exhale, balances the nervous system and begins the descent into alpha without inducing drowsiness. Run 4 cycles before you open your gaze. Now fix your eyes on the tip of the flame, not the body of the flame, the tip, the sharpest, brightest point of light. Hold your gaze there without blinking for as long as is comfortable. For most beginners, that's 60 to 90 seconds. Don't force it, don't strain, just hold. When you need to blink, do it. Then close your eyes. The afterimage will appear, a bright impression of the flame floating in your inner visual field. This is the training moment. Do not chase it. Do not try to stabilize it by effort. Let it float. Let it drift. Let it stabilize on its own. Continue your breathing rhythm throughout. Your only job is to observe it without interference. Hold the afterimage for as long as it persists, typically 30 to 60 seconds. When it fades, open your eyes and re-establish your gaze on the flame tip. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. Each round deepens the alpha state and conditions the visual cortex to generate and hold internal imagery. On the final round, as the afterimage begins to fade, do not return to the candle. Instead, replace the flame with the image of what you intend to build, the outcome you've been trying to visualize, the version of your life you want to inhabit. Place it where the flame was, in that same internal visual space. Your brain's visualization circuitry has just been primed. The muscle has been engaged. You are now asking a trained system to perform, not an untrained one. Hold that image for 90 seconds minimum. Keep the breathing steady. First-person perspective only. You are inside the outcome, not watching it. Feel the weight of the environment. Sense the temperature, the sounds, the expressions of the people around you. Emotion is the signal the subconscious uses to encode importance. Don't manufacture emotion. Let the detail generate it. When the session completes, take 1 slow breath. Exhale fully, then let the image go. Don't cling. The neural pathway has received its instruction. Repetition over 7 consecutive nights cements it. Here is what this practice reveals about you. You were never someone who lacked the capacity to visualize powerfully. You were someone who was never given the training tool. Every high-performing mind, ancient or modern, was built on a method, not on raw talent and harder belief. Now you have the method. Tonight, light a candle. Not for ambiance, not for atmosphere, for the oldest visualization training technology ever systematically documented. The same practice recorded in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika that serious practitioners used to develop the mind's eye before the modern world decided concentration was optional. 5 minutes, a single flame, and a nervous system that, once trained, doesn't ask for your permission before it starts reshaping how you move through the world. Don't believe me? Try it for 7 nights. Your own data is the only evidence that matters to a skeptic. And if you're watching this channel, that's exactly what you are. If this reached you at the right moment, subscribe. The next transmission goes deeper, into the theta state below alpha, where the oldest patterns are stored, and where real recoding begins. The flame is waiting.